become a nightmare. And we can prevent that by leaving some people alone, even if they were once close to us. We can prevent it because we must consider that just because the place we find ourselves, in is comfortable, does not mean that we're supposed to be there. Remember, man plans and God laughs. All too often we are selling ourselves cheap because it seems the place we are in gives us a financial reward, but not a spiritual reward. And eventually, the weight of the position outweighs the benefits of the position. And we find ourselves bankrupt. Now don't get me wrong, it's not all bad because dreams really do come true. Joseph, after being imprisoned unjustly, now finds himself as the second-ranking person in all the kingdom of Egypt. It is important for us to keep in mind that the skills we learn along life's road, no matter how insignificant they may seem, may one day serve to help us realize our purpose. It is also important to continue to help others as best we can, even though our circumstances are not the best, because we can never know when the person we help along life's road may one day be the very person to help us reach the goal that God has each and every one of us, for each and every one of us to reach. Joseph helps two men who are imprisoned with him by interpreting their dreams. That's how this particular part of the story begins, and this skill he picked up in his youth, and now is serving him as an adult. Just the other day, yesterday in fact, my wife and I, we met a friend of ours, and our friend now is working out of a home because their husband has an illness that needs close supervision. Now our friend is a registered nurse and was making a nice salary before her husband's illness. And she was considering retiring, but was not in a financial position to do so. Out of nowhere comes a person she only spoke to twice, over several years, in fact. And the person called her and offered her a partnership in a franchise business which would allow her to stay at home and work. She was not going to work in a position for which she was trained. And worked in all of her life. You see, she was a registered nurse with a master's degree. Now she was going to coordinate the franchise and organize the running of the operation. And this skill she picked up along the way. She holds no degree in it. It's just something that comes easy to her. How many of us have a skill, not the one we were trained in or went to school for? No, I'm talking about the one or several you picked up along life's way. I'm talking about the one you stumbled on while you were learning something else. I'm talking about the one you acquired but never told anyone about because it's just something you do. I'm talking about the one that you do but never thought you could make an income from. So you do it, but you see it as a secondary thing while God sees it as your primary. Because Joseph used the skill of his youth, he has risen from his degrading circumstances to one of prominence in the land of Pharaoh. We all know how the story ends. We've heard the story before, how eventually his brothers come to Egypt because of the famine, and he predicted to Pharaoh, and he was put in charge of all the food. All the food had been stored during the years of plenty. We all know that the dream that a boy had has come full circle and manifested itself in his life of an adult Joseph, who is now 30 years old. We all know how his brothers and his fathers came to Egypt, and as they entered the court of this powerful man, second only to Pharaoh, they did not recognize him, but they bowed before him. We are shown in this story of this boy who had a childhood dream and now was living the dream, that dreams really do come true.
Amen.
Now there are many events in the Bible that speak of men and women and nations that have a dream, and show us that these dreams, by their example, dreams really do come true. There was the man with the unclean spirit, trapped in a body but unable to control his actions, tormented day and night by an occupant that he could not serve a dispossessed notice to. Surely while he was held captive, his greatest desire, his dream, if you will, was to be set free. Free so that he could live a normal life.
Amen.
Jesus comes along to aid the man who is captive to a demon. And so he sets the man free. Who among us is held captive and has a dream, has dreamed of being set free? Have you come to Jesus? And if not, why not? He's waiting. He's waiting to make your dream come true. There's a leper. A leper who has a disease that has separated him from all human contact. He cannot touch or be touched by another living soul. He cannot go to the synagogue and pray with the congregation there. His dream is only to be made clean. He kneels before Jesus and asks ever so humbly, can you help me realize my dream? How many of us have a disease that has prevented us from a real human contact, that has kept us away from the church and from a real fellowship with our brothers and sisters? Have you knelt? Have you knelt before Jesus and asked him to cleanse you of that disease? He's waiting. He's waiting to make your dream come true.
Yes, all right. That's all right.
How long? How long was a young man confined to his bed? How many nights did he go to sleep and dream of running in green fields with his friends, dreamed of long, slow walks with a young lady his age, and to talk and plan a future and raise a family.